friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video I'll be creating 2 more eye looks with the LadybugGlow Misteriosa quad. Let's look at it again, shall we? This is so cute. Now, in my last video that I created 2 looks with this quad with, I used these 2 shades, this one in the first look, this one in the second look. So for this video, I'm going to be using this shadow or this shimmer shadow, I guess, too, in the first look, and then I'm going to be using this one in the second look. Now this, obviously, you can tell is like white, purple, and blue variegated swirly stuff going on in here, and it's so beautiful. This one is like silver and orange and pink, it looks like to me. So yeah, this is going to be really fun. Now for the mattes for this first look, I thought about using the Tropical Wonders palette from Certify. I thought about using the Utopia from Beauty Bay, which I might use that in the second look. But for this one, I decided to pull out the Zoeva Matte Spectrum palette that my dear best friend and sister, Steph, sent to me. And I think what I'm going to do for this is use... trying to decide. I think, because I was going to use these 3, but now I'm kind of looking over here and thinking that might be kind of cool. But I think I am just going to stick with this shade, and this shade. So I think what I'll do is start off by putting this in my transition area, blending it out with a little bit of that. This I'm going to put across my entire mobile lid and then top it with that shimmer shade. Yeah. Okay, so let me grab a brush. I do have both of my brows done, and this eyelid is primed in the Juvia's Place Prep Prime Eye Primer. Yes, I'm loving it. It's a really nice eyeshadow primer. I got that. Trying to think how long I've had that in my collection. It's been a while, I know that. Over a year, pretty sure. And I used it a couple times right when I first got it, but I didn't have a lot of experience with this particular type of eyeshadow primer. I was using primarily at that point the NYX Proof It, which is, I have some of that. I should get that out and use it again too. Oh, did I go into the wrong shade? No, I didn't. I thought I went into the purple shade. It looked purpley to me, but no. The NYX Proof It is, how do I describe it? It comes in a little tube. It's got a little wand, and you know, I basically just will kind of apply it across my hole from my eyebrow to my lashes. And then I just will take my finger, or would I take a brush? I don't even remember what I would do. Just kind of smooth it out, but it's really tacky, like sticky. And, you know, my skill set is not something that I can just leave that alone and start putting eyeshadows on. I have to set it with powder just to make the eyeshadows apply more smoothly, not quite so stick, like my brush would skid across my eyelids when I wouldn't set it. So that really helped me, but that's what I was really used to. And I would say that like this type of eyeshadow primer, there's really no stickum to it necessarily, maybe a little, but it doesn't feel tacky. It's more like creamy. It's not really emollient because it does dry. I mean, it dries down, like it sets itself kind of. So it's not sticky or anything. But at that point, I just was like, it was just hard for me to use it for some reason. I don't know. Then Steph sent me the P. Louise eyeshadow base. And initially that was difficult too, but I just kept at it because I really felt like with the P. Louise, it made it almost easier to blend your eyeshadows over the top of it, you know? But now I'm seeing that this primer is very similar. So I'm having the same type of experience. I really love the Milani eyeshadow base too. That's a little bit tackier to me anyway. And I will use that again, of course, but I don't know. Just wanted to give this baby a whirl, and I'm really liking it. I was finally able to wash my hair this morning. I got my hair done, colored and stuff a couple days ago. And the hairdresser was like, do not wash your hair for 2 days. And I wash my hair pretty much every day. So I was like, what? So it just feels really good. I put this like damage defying hair mask on as well, and that really made it feel nice. It feels really nice and soft, and yeah, I love it. Okay, so I think I'm done with this shade. I like it. It's very nicely pigmented. It's kind of a grayish blue. It's really pretty, but I do have kind of a wonky edge. So I'm going to go in with this shade, just a little bit of this shade, and put it around the edge of that shade. I'm curious if you guys have watched any new movies lately. And if you have any new movie suggestions for me, or even an older movie that you really enjoy, whatever. I'm getting to a point where my husband and I both are getting to a point where we're like, are there any good movies out there anymore? Like, you know, we've just seen a lot of movies and we're trying to find like, you know, well, yeah, newer movies, but also just tried and true classics too, whatever. That's fine. We did watch this very strange movie called, what was it called? Walden? Yeah, really weird. It's got, oh geez, what's his name? He's in Into the Wild. Oh, I can't think of what his name is. I might have to look that up because that's going to drive me bonkers. If I try to think of someone's name that's like an actress or a singer or whatever, and I can't come up with it. Emile Hirsch. Thank you. Whoever, thank you. Oh, he's such a great actor, but it starred him as a court reporter, like a stenographer in court trials or whatever, who kind of goes off the rails. But it was such a different role than I've ever seen him play that it was really interesting to watch him in that role. Very strange, but good too. You know, just I was reading the Rotten Tomatoes review on it, and a lot of people were saying that they felt like it was going to become like a cult classic. I don't know that it has. I think it was made in like a few years ago. It's not like brand new or anything, but we found it on Prime. And yeah, we watched it and we were like, okay. I mean, it was good. It was just very strange. I love that. I think that looks really pretty. Everything blended really well. Right there, though, looks a little funky still to me. I'm just very lightly touching my lid with the brush. Okay, I don't know that that did any good, but okay, we're leaving it. So now I'm going to go into the shade right here and put that across my entire mobile lid. There's no shade name. Well, there's like numbers, but I can't read them. I'm going to start off by using this brush. I think this will work. This is one of my dough color, I don't know. I've heard it said several different ways, so I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but and I'm just going to cover the whole lid with this. And then, of course, pop that shimmer over the top. I love this quad. I love this brand. It's so fun to play with their shadows. Just such a treat. And I'm going to continue to do more 2Looks videos with the rest of my LadybugGlow palettes as well. I do have another makeup and artist video coming next week. I was going to try to do that this week, and then, you know, work's been pretty hectic. I've mentioned we've switched to a different EHR system. So that's been a lot. And I just haven't really had time to gather the facts for the band I'm going to be talking about, but it is a band, it's a group, one of my absolute faves. So I'm really excited to do that video. I can't decide what palette to pull into that though. I think I know, but I'm not exactly sure. And for that look, I'm going all in, all in. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be fun. I'm at least going to try to go all in. We'll see. I don't know, but I'm excited about it. And then I do have a true crime video that I'm going to do my damnedest to get up the last Sunday of June, which I think is June 30th. I've started reading the book. I've read maybe 50, 60 pages of it now, but it's a longer book and it's a pretty involved case. It's a case actually that Andy from Andy Does Stuff, she recommended that I do. And so I went and checked it out and I'm like, oh yeah. So I got a book obviously off Amazon. Actually, I think what happened was she recommended the book to me and I went and read the synopsis and I'm like, okay, because I had never heard of this crime before, but it happened in her home state. So she lives in Ohio. So yeah, really interesting. I mean, it's heartbreaking case, of course. I'm going to go back into that lighter purple shade. I'm just going to go back around up here. So, you know, of course, it's not easy to do these videos, obviously. And it's also, you know, pretty heart-wrenching case. Yes. I'd never heard of it before. Did I ever say that? I think I did. So yeah, I'll try to get that done. I'm hoping I can get it done by the end of June. We'll see. I might have to push it into July and then I'm missing 2 months. I hate that. But you know, it's okay. Life will go on. Okay, so I really like how this all looks together. I think it's really, really pretty. This always looks weird, but okay. So now I'm going to go into this shimmer shade right here. Put that across the lid. I want to find like a really good scary movie, but I feel like there's not a lot of really good scary movies anymore. I'm just kind of like, I don't want to hold this up. I'm just kind of like going around the shade and like picking up. I might need to use my finger for this too. These shades are, yeah, they're kind of flaky, kind of smushy too. I don't know, but they're so beautiful. I just don't know. Sometimes these types of shades, for me anyway, they just don't pick up that great on the brush. Okay, so let's go ahead and, oh, yes. It's got just this beautiful, like purpley blue and white. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my finger. Yeah, see, look at, isn't that pretty? Almost kind of like silvery purple and blue mixed together, and it's just stunning. Oh, and it's very sparkly. I love that. I love it. Oh, it's so nice. Beautiful. And I'm really glad that I chose these mattes. I mean, you know, it is fun to like choose very opposing mattes to a shimmer shade too, of course. But, I don't know. I mean, look, can you see the flippy? It's like blue and purple and kind of like a silvery white. That's so nice. And I'm just kind of, you know, going across my lid, pushing this on. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, it's gorgeous. I love it. I am going to go back in with the brush though and just try to like, yeah, there we go. Just kind of pull this up here because hooded eyes, it's going to go up there anyway. And so I'm just going to try to get this up over my crease just a skosh here and just make this look a little bit more uniform across the lid too. You know, with the finger, sometimes it's not the most precise application. So just kind of fill in this outer part here and then just, yeah, take it up over my crease. I absolutely love this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. That shimmer is so fun. So I will clean this up. I do have a little bit of fallout. Do my other eye, the rest of my face, I'll come back. So of course, this is finished look number 1. And I am telling you, I love this quad so much. I love how this look turned out, and I cannot wait to play with the other shade I have yet to use in the quad. So I'll show you a few things I threw on my face for this finished look, show you the eyeshadows again, and then move on to look number 2. On my lips, I used a liquid lipstick from SheGlam. This is in the shade Haters. This came in a set of 3, I think for $5 or $6. And this is one of my favorite lip shades I have in my collection. I love the dusky mauveness of it, and I think it goes really well with a lot of different eyeshadow looks. And I felt like this shade worked really well with that lighter kind of dusky purple shade I put on my eyelids today. For my mascara, I used the SheGlam Max Impact Mascara. This is a little messy, but this was super cheap. I've only used this a handful of times, but I really like it. It's a nice mascara. And then for my upper lid liner, I used the ColourPop BFF Liquid Liner in Crazy. It's this really pretty kind of cobalt blue shade. This is older. There's not a ton of product, I don't think, left in here, but I just store it kind of upside down and it worked fine today. Hallelujah. I also used a shade out of the Enchantment palette from Beauty Moon Cosmetics, Enchantment palette from Beauty Moon Cosmetics. I use this shade right here, as I typically do. It's just got this beautiful blue, kind of pink and lavender shifty stuff. It's so gorgeous. There's a hair. So gorgeous. I so enjoy playing with this, and it's in my panning project, so that's fun to continue to use it. And then for my blush, I used a couple shades out of the Made by Mitchell Blush palette again that Steph sent me. I used the purple shades. I used this one here called For the Lovers at first. It just seemed maybe a little too light, so I thought I'd deepen it up a little bit by adding Night and Right. And this is just such a fun blush palette. I'm loving it. Okay, so let's start off by talking about the Zoeva Matte Spectrum palette first. This is such an awesome all matte palette, and I like the fact that the colors in here are more muted, a little bit more toned down. You know, if you're wanting to play with color, but you don't want super over the top, vibrant, bold, these are really a nice option. I have no idea if this is still available. No idea at all. And I'm pretty sure most of us, if we have, you know, a decent size collection, could dupe these shades anyway with what we already have. But just thrilled that Steph sent it to me because it's really fun to play with. I think the mattes that I used, these 3 right here, worked really well together. They were pigmented and blendable. I used all 3 on my lower lash lines, and I just love how they performed. Really fun. Now let's talk about the quad, Misteriosa Quad from LadybugGlow. I'm telling you, man, this shade did not disappoint me at all. It's beautiful. It is, I think, maybe, I don't know, more elegant than I was expecting. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, just a very classy shade. It's got that purple and blue and kind of whitey silver, you know, just, I don't know, it just speaks elegance to me. I think it's just gorgeous. And I think this shade would work really well with lots of different colors, but I just kind of wanted to stick with the colors I felt like are in this shade, with this shade today. So, okay, enough of the talking. Let's move on to look number 2. So back for look number 2 with the LadybugGlow Misteriosa quad. Technically it's look number 4 because I did do another 2 looks video with this, but for the purposes of this video, it's look number 2. And I'm going to be using this shade right here. It's that kind of pink, orange, and silver variegated shimmer that is in here. I have not used this one yet, so once this is on my eyelids, then I will have used all of the shimmers in this quad at least once, which I will be continuing to play with this quad. Of course I will. Now, I was looking through my all matte palettes and trying to decide like which one I wanted to pull in. At first I thought, let's do the Beauty Bay Utopia palette again. And then I thought, wait a second, you have an all matte palette in your collection you have not used yet. So I grabbed the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries palette. This is an all matte 5-pan palette, beautiful tones in here, kind of like wine and mauve, maybe a little, well, I don't know if that's mauve. It's like a light reddish brown, and then there's a black matte in here, really pretty. And they do have some shade names on the back here, so let me put my glasses on and I'll read those to you. I think what I'll do is start off by using Roseberry in my transition area, and then I'll blend it out with this shade here, which is called Berry Chic. And then I'm trying to decide if I want to use, I don't know, I might use all 5 of these shades today. This shade right here is called Berry Pop. This one is called Mixed Berries. And then this one is called Berry Black. Okay, cool. But definitely starting off with Roseberry, putting that in my transition area. Let me take my glasses off. Both of my brows are done, of course, and this eyelid is primed in the Juvia's Place Prep Prime Eyeshadow Primer. Okay, let's start getting into this shade here. Ooh. A little too much on the brush here. I have a feeling that this is going to be extremely pigmented, so I should probably be careful. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Let's do this. Oops, and my mirror's tipped. Okay, let's get the mirror up here. Alrighty. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. Yeah, I was gifted this palette quite some time ago, and it's been in my drawer ever since, and I thought about decluttering it actually. I did my eyeshadow palette collection declutter videos at the beginning of 2024, and I was like, you know, I haven't used this yet, and you know, maybe I should give it to someone else who might, you know, put it to better use than I am, because like I said, this is the first time I've ever used it. I've never used a Dose of Colors eyeshadow of any sort, actually. But then as I was kind of getting my decluttered palettes together so I could give them to various people, I was like, you know what? I do want to hold on to the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries because I haven't used it. And, you know, what if I use it and I just love the palette and love the brand, and, you know, so I'm glad I held on to it, you know, and I do like to have all matte palettes in my collection along with all shimmer palettes. Just a fun way to create looks with using 2 different palettes together, you know, and so I'm glad I held on to it. I really am. That's a really pretty shade. It's nicely pigmented. It's blending nicely or applying nicely, you know. I don't really know how much blending I'm doing, but it is a really pretty shade. And I just felt like these berry tones would work really well with that shimmer shade. I had kind of a weird thing happen to me the other day. I had stopped at the store to get a couple things, just random stuff that we needed. And it's like this little convenience store that's not far away from my house. And when I pulled up to the store in the parking lot, my car was the only car that was there. So I knew like there was nobody else in the store other than the person that was working there, of course. And when I got out, there was a gentleman who was standing kind of next to the door of the store. That's really pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to go into this shade here, which is called Berry Chic. Can't remember, and put that around the edge of that. And when I got out of my car, he kind of like, I don't know how to word it, like kind of almost like was acting like he was like squaring off at me. He kind of went like this at me and was like, you know, giving me the stare down. And I just looked right back at him like, what? You know, don't get squirrely with me, buddy. And so when I walked into the store, I noticed that the woman that commonly works there was there, of course, and she's by herself, which that has always really bothered me, that women are left alone in a convenience store to work at night. I mean, anytime, but especially at night. It just, I don't know. It's always really bothered me. We actually had a crime happen here, oh, several years ago. I was little, at a convenience store. These two women were working and these men broke in and hurt them. And ever since then, you know, obviously that was all over the newspapers, on the news. It was a big deal. Of course it was. And ever since then, though, I have like remembered that. And when I see women working alone in a store like that, it just pisses me off, because I'm like, you know, you need to have, not that women are incapable. I don't think that at all. I've never thought that, and I never will think that. But I also think that it's asinine to have that going on. So anyway, I went into the store and I said, oh, looks like we have, you know, somebody out in front that's maybe a little unsavory. And she said, yeah, he's been in here a couple of times actually in the past, and obviously he's back now. And she said he's trying to pay for items with like a pizza gift card, like a Pizza Hut gift card. And she said, I told him that that does not work here. And he got real pissed and was like, yes, it does. And I use this all the time to purchase things at other stores. And you're just, you know, discriminating against me basically. And you know, I'm going to buy something with this. And she's like, you can't, it won't work. And then he wanted like some vape cartridges. And she said, no, you can't have that. And he like reached over the counter and was like trying to grab them out of this little container thing that's on the like front desk area, you know, like the register area. That is really nice. I like this a lot. So I think I am, rather than going into this shade, I'm going to go into that shade there, because I think, like, I don't know, that's just what I'm going to do. And she said that as she was like telling him, no, you can't, and please don't reach over the counter, he started getting kind of aggressive, like yelled at her and was like, you know, I'm going to get this and you're not going to stop me, basically. And he swore at her and was kind of like swinging his arms around and stuff. And I said, well, would you like me to call the police? And she's like, no. She's like, I've texted the store owner, who doesn't live far away from the store. And she said, you know, I just haven't heard back from him yet. I'm going to ask him to come down here and, you know, tell this gentleman to leave. And I said, okay, well, how long ago did you text him? And she said, oh, it's probably been about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. And I said, well, okay, has he responded? And she looked at her phone and she's like, no, he hasn't responded yet. And I thought, you know what? I don't feel comfortable leaving here knowing that this guy's out in front harassing her. And what if I do leave and this escalates and she ends up getting hurt and I was here and didn't do anything about it? I just thought, I can't do that. And, you know, as we were talking, I was watching him out in the parking lot, and he was like kind of circling around in the parking lot and like swinging his arms around. I'm going to go back into the shade again. And I just thought, I just don't feel right about leaving her like this. So I went outside and got in my car, of course, and he had walked kind of across the parking lot to this other business. It's like, it used to be a bank. I can't remember now what it is. And he was loud. I could hear him yelling and, you know, saying some derogatory words about the store, the woman that worked in the store, or that works in the store. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to, no. So I did call the police. I called the non-emergency line. I didn't call 911. I just said, you know, this is what's going on. This is where the store is. And I said, you know, I just don't feel comfortable leaving her alone, and nobody's here to help her. And I said, I'm not going to be much help. I've had, you know, and I didn't tell her this, but I'm thinking I've had 4 back surgeries. Like, you know, I can't like physically fight anybody. Of course not. I'd want to, but I probably shouldn't. And so no, the dispatch was like, nope, that's totally fine. We will have someone come out. And I don't know if they did or not. I hope so. I really hope so. Because that is really scary. It's really, really scary to be a woman in a situation like that when you're alone and there's somebody that's getting aggressive, and what are you going to do? You know, I'm going to go back into the lighter shade. Just go around one more time. And I was just glad that I called the cops, you know. I hope they came. I don't know. We have very reactive law enforcement here. They're not proactive, really. They wait until things really escalate and then they'll do something, which I'm not trying to bash cops or anything, but it just gets annoying. I've been in situations in my own life where I needed police assistance, and I don't know. Didn't always have the best experience. Let's just put it that way. But that's a pretty common thing here, that women are left alone in stores. And actually, you know what I'm going to do too? Hold on a second. I am going to go into my e.l.f. contour palette, and I'm going to use this shade right here and just kind of go around the edge of this because it's looking a little funky to me. It's not the eyeshadow's fault at all. It's just sometimes my blending is not always the greatest, and it's not always easy for me to put a soft edge around the outer shade. Oops, my eyebrows are getting a little crazy. But for some reason, that store seems to really attract like that type of situation. Like there's been several times where I've gone, that store is really close to my house, so I frequently go there. They sell my favorite freeze-dried Skittles. But I go there often, and lots of times there are just not the nicest of people out in the front of the store. Just not cool. And a guy I went to high school with actually works there, and he's really nice, really a neat guy, and he gets real tired of it because he's like, you know, and it's, I understand that, like, you know, there's lots of different people in the world, of course. It's just, and I wish these folks could get the help that they need. You know, ultimately that's really what they need, is some help. So it's tough. Okay, now I'm going to go back into this shade right here and put that across my lid. I just don't like it when men try to scare women, like bully women, scare women. It's just so gross. God, I get so pissed off about that. Ooh, this is really pretty. And it's applying really nicely to the brush. Okay, cool. I will probably use my finger too, maybe, but we'll see. So I'm curious if you guys have ever been in that type of situation where you have seen someone, ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is so pretty. Oh, that's beautiful. It's very like peachy, sparkly peach. That's beautiful. Oh, and I'm really happy that I chose this all matte palette with it, because isn't that nice? Oh, I love it. You know, like, have you been in a store or, you know, anywhere really out in public, and you've seen, you know, like a woman getting accosted by somebody that's like alone? You know, I guess the store scenario makes more sense. But like, have you been in a store that's, you know, like that, like a convenience store where there's only one woman working and she's getting harassed by somebody? Oh, it just makes my blood just boil. That is such a beautiful shade. Is this my favorite shade out of the squad? Might be. This is really nice. I really do like this shade a ton too. That's so fun. I like these other two as well. That lasted really well yesterday. All of these shades have lasted. These shimmers have lasted really well on my lids throughout the day. You know, they look really pretty. I filmed my random ranking video at the end of my day yesterday, and that shade just looked great. You know, I mean, the rest of my makeup didn't look that great because I'd been through my day, but really liked it a lot. And I do support women being extremely independent and doing whatever the hell they want to do on their own. Absolutely. I don't have any like issue with take issue with that at all. No way. I mean, I was on my own for years, and very proud of that fact, you know, very proud of it. But when I see stuff like that, oh, and I think I'm actually going to go into the black matte. Why not? Let's go into the black matte here, and that's called Berry Black, yeah? And I'm going to put that out here because I really want that shade to just pop. And I'm just going to use the same brush that I was using with that other shade, so it's kind of mixed with this shade here, but that's okay. So let's put this out here, really deepen up this outer corner. Why not? Yes. Okay, that's awesome. That's really pretty. Bitsy? Bitsy's giving herself a little bath in the corner over here. But I'm like, shh. You're being kind of rude, sis. Being kind of rude. Okay. And I'm just trying to keep this pretty contained to the outer V, but maybe take it over just a skosh into the, I don't know, transition area, crease, whatever. just to kind of, I just really want that shimmer to really pop against that black matte. Isn't that cool? I love it. I just feel like I look like such a dork when I'm like, isn't that cool? Oh, you guys are probably thinking, well, the shadows are cool, but your face looks a little strange, lady. Chill. So I am done. I think this is gorgeous. I'm going to clean this up, do my other eye, the rest of my face, and of course, I'll come back. So this is finished look number 2 and my final look for this video, and I love how this look turned out. I don't know that I can pick a favorite of either look that I created for this video, but I kind of feel like the shimmer I used in this look today might be my favorite shimmer out of the quad. I'm not sure. I'll show you the quad again, of course, and give you my final thoughts and feelings about it. But let me show you just a few things I threw on my face for my finished look. On my lips, I used a lipstick from Revolution Beauty, and this is in the shade Rosé, which reminds me of my babyest baby, Shawnee's cat, Rosé, who is my niece. I adore her to pieces, and I think this is such a cute component. Just cute, and it's got lips on the top, which kind of obviously shows you the shade color, or the shade, yeah. And love it. It feels really nice on my lips. This is the first time I've used it today, and I really like it a lot. For my mascara, I used the ColourPop Act Natural Defining Mascara. I love this. And then I'm used, which I've used several times now, the Revolution Beauty Iconic Flick Ink Felt Liner in black for my upper lid liners today. Or upper lids liner, whatever. And then for my inner corner, I used the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in 010 Popping Champagne. This is in my Def Leppard panning project. I finally used it 10 times, so this is going to get cycled out. Yes, but that's in a future video. I just thought the champagne-y shade would look really pretty in my inner corners, kind of play off the orangey tone that's in the shimmer. I don't know. I just think it looks really nice. And then and also for my blush today, I used the Made by Mitchell blush palette again. I used this blush right here. This one is called Ben Papped. Not sure what that means, but I'm older now, and a lot of the newer jargon lingo, I'm like, huh? What does that even mean? Okay, I love the blush. I think it looks really pretty with the look today. Okay, I love that blush palette. I'm just keeping it on my desk. I'm going to continue to use it. So now for the mattes, the Blushing Berries from Dose of Colors. The front of the palette's a little messy. Really enjoyed this. I'm so happy I held on to this and that I did not declutter it. It's wonderful. I felt like all of the mattes that I used, did I use all of the mattes? I didn't use this one. I used these two and these two. They're blendable, they're pigmented, they're gorgeous. Really impressed. And then on my lower lash lines, I used a combination of these two shades and I used all 4 on my lower lash lines. And yeah, really impressed. Really happy that I kept it. Really am. So now let's talk about the Misteriosa quad from LadybugGlow. I had so much fun creating these 2 looks. I had so much fun creating the other 2 looks that I created with this quad. And they're just beautiful shimmer shades. Very unique, very fun. I love the shade, I really do, but I love these 2 as well, and actually, I think I am going to go with this. This I really do think was my favorite shimmer out of the quad because of all the different fun stuff going on in here. I had a really fun time applying that to the lid. I learned a lot about this shade, like how to apply it and, maybe different ways I applied it. I used a small brush, a larger brush, my finger, that was really fun. But these 3 shades were just as fun. Maybe not as fun, but close. I mean, they're all really fun. Beautiful quad, really enjoyed playing with it, and I cannot wait to continue to use this quad. I really did enjoy all the looks that I put together with it so far. Let me know if you picked up this quad, which shadow is your favorite out of it, and yeah, who knows, maybe I'll do another 2 looks video with this as well, like maybe combining the shimmers. I didn't want to do that for these 2 videos or these 4 looks quite yet. I just wanted to see how they looked on their own, but I do think you can combine a couple of them. Absolutely you could. And I'm going to continue to do 2 looks videos with my LadybugGlow palettes coming up on my channel. I've got some new stuff I want to film with too, but I am going to be sprinkling those 2 looks videos with my LadybugGlow palettes in as well. Love this brand. Always a pleasure and a treat to play with a LadybugGlow palette. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video, but in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself, be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. Bye!
drop it.